What's up, guys? Brian back to do a top 10 Walking Dead comic characters list. People have asked us about this list for a long time now, and we finally get around to do it. Here's our top 10 list. Spoilers ahead if you don't know this information. You're not in the comics, the show, you don't want to know. I don't know. Spoilers ahead, general spoilers on there as well. So here's our list. Top 10 with some honorable mentions as well. Number 10, Tyrese. He's a drastic different character on the show and the comic. He's like Rick's right-hand man on the in the comic. He's a professional football player on the comic, different on the show. Like I said, he's there until he gets the blade by Katana of the governor, and he was kind of like Rick's right-hand person. He did a lot more in the comic, and he's gone now, of course. But number 9 is Carl Grimes. Again, another big difference on the comic versus the show. Carl is way better in the comic than he is on the show. He loses his eye just like that, but he does more crazy, ballsy stuff. He does a little thing, and eventually will probably be the leader of the group, I would think, too. There he's a braka with his machine gun against the Saviors. Pretty awesome. Hopefully they do that on the show. Number 8, Abraham Ford. Abraham is awesome on both parts, but he's just a little, he's not as, I wouldn't say he's as crazy as he is on the show with the one-liners, but he's a ladies' man. He's the same kind of guy. But he got the iconic death that's on Denise. But I liked Abraham. Wish he was around for all that war and everything too, like a lot of people. But Abraham was pretty cool as well. Number 7 is Ezekiel. We don't know much of him on the show, and hopefully he's done justice just like that too. But Ezekiel's pretty awesome. He's a good leader of the kingdom. He's charismatic. He's crazy. He's over the top. But he's an overall good guy, good person. He hates Negan and the Saviors. And he's a good leader of the kingdom. He was a good person until he died by Alpha and the Whisperers. But number 6 is Michonne. Now, Michonne is my favorite character on the show, but in the comics, she's a little different. She's a little crazier on there, too. On the comics, way more sexual on there, too. She's a little bit much with that, too, with her personality and everything. And she's not with Rick on there as well. But Michonne, Katana style, she's a badass. She's alive today, and I still like her on the comic. She's just a little different on there. Number 5 is a drastic difference. Number 5 is Andrea. Now, Andrea is still alive in the comic. She's awesome. She's with Rick. Michonne is not with Rick in the comic. Andrea is. And Andrea in the comic is basically like Sasha on the show. Andrea is far different. I wish this character existed on the show as well. She's a sniper. She's a good shot. She's just a better character overall in there too, and she's number 5. Number 4 is, who is it? It's a big difference for a lot of people. Dwight. Dwight is a good guy in the comic versus the show. Right now, you're not going to like him on the show. He basically goes against Negan, sides with Rick and the group to overthrow Negan, and is kind of the main thing to take over the Saviors when Negan is captured. And he's a much better character. Well, he still might be on the show, but right now we just don't know for that too. Dwight is number 4. Number 3 is Negan. Now, some people like Negan. Some people hate Negan. Negan is far better on the comic for what he is on the show right now. He's over the top. He's crazy. He's like, I had this conversation with a fan, a subscriber, that he is like the Joker. You never know what he's going to do. He's got these crazy one-liners. He does good things. He does bad things. But he's just over the top. He's kind of like the Walking Dead Joker kind of feel. But he's got the best lines in the comic, and he's crazy for that. Number 2 is Rick Grimes. Now, Rick is awesome. He's the leader. He's getting watered down a little bit now in the later issues of the comic, and they say he's not going to last probably in the series, which will probably be the comic. I don't see him dying on the show, but there he is with Carl and Andrea. He loses his hand. Various different things of Rick Grimes on the show versus the comic. He's still a badass. He's still a leader. He's still awesome. I like Rick Grimes, but he's not number 1, of course, but he's number 2, but he's there. He's probably like a 1A or 1B on there, too. So honorable mentions is Glenn Rhee. He's different on the show versus the comic. We all know he got the iconic death here by Negan. He is a good character. He is there. Pizza Boy, good there, too. He had to make the honorable mentions list for sure. Eugene is still alive in the comic today. He is a different character with his intelligence and everything there, too. There he is at Abraham's grave. I just like Eugene for what he brings to the table, and we'll see what happens in later the Whisper War. Heath I liked Heath. I don't know if he's going to make it out on the show or not, but he's on the show, and he's a different character in the comic. He's a way bigger part in the comic than he is the show, and he's a good character for sure in the comic. Magna. We don't know who she is yet on the show, if we'll see her, if he'll be a guy, girl, if she'll be around, but she is a good group of the lead. She is a nice addition in the comic. In the DC area, they bring her back. They bring her in, and she is a good leader on there. The last honorable mention is Maggie Green. She is a leader. She has her baby there, Herschel, and she punches Rick after the whole debacle with Negan in the lineup. She becomes leader of the Hilltop, and she becomes a strong leader in force in the comic as well today. Number 1 is my guy, Jesus, Paul Rovia. He is awesome in the show and in the comic, but in the comic, hopefully we get to see some of these things here play out, as he's just so awesome in there too. He does a bunch of crazy things here as he was fighting Michonne and Abraham, took them both out, taking a bunch of walkers out too. He's awesome. He kicks Negan's ass, just kind of crazy here too, and hopefully these get put on film, or on the screen, I should say, and he's just awesome. He's just the best character ever. I don't know. He's just, his skills, his fighting, his ability, he's just funny too. He's just awesome. I don't know. You just got to see it. So that's our list, guys. Thank you for watching. You're awesome. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Subscribe for more videos. What is your top 10 list? Let us know. Do you agree, disagree? Let us know, guys.